and the question, the much bigger question, which I'm forever trying to get people onto, which is, what ought we to be doing? I say in The Madness of Crowds that I'm just terribly conscious of the opportunity costs of spending our brain power at this moment in history when we have this untold potential. We can talk across continents, we can Zoom, we can house party, we can whatever you like, we can swap ideas and get to places. We could solve things. We could solve an awful lot of things, including things that people claim to be very interested in solving. When we could do that. So why are we spending so much time focusing on the difference between being genderqueer and being non-binary, or being told by idiots that we need to educate ourselves? Why would this be happening? And I think there are quite a lot of reasons. And one is a gigantic loss of certainty by the adults in the room. There is a very deep sense. I wrote about this partly in The Strange Death of Europe, my last book but one. There is a very strong sense in countries like Britain in particular that somehow a new story needs to emerge. You hear this in, intelligent, educated people saying things like, I think that men have to step back, or I think white people need to speak less, this sort of thing. And I hear that from quite serious places, or places that used to be serious, people who used to be serious. And I think this is all a demonstration that the adults have been giving in, and they've been willing to hand the thing over to whoever wants to take it on. There have just been far too few people willing to say, stop that right now. We're not having that. We're not having men played against women. We're not having straight people and gay people played against each other. We're not going to have you playing black and white people against each other. Stop it right now, because we can tell you where it goes. We haven't had enough people doing that. Instead, we have these sort of weak, pathetic, elderly men in particular who decide to have an easy life, having done well so far in many cases, but have an easy life by giving in to whatever the latest, craziest demands are. You say we have unconscious bias, fine, we'll accept we do. Oh, and we'll roll it out across our corporations. You tell us that all white people are wicked from birth. Okay, I'll swallow that one too. Anything for a quiet life. You tell me that our societies that have more rights for women and gay people and all other minorities than any other societies in history are uniquely terrible and awful. Oh, sure, okay, we'll go along with it because it's a quiet life. These are contemptible people, and they've been in charge and in positions of power in recent years, and they have totally failed at the task in hand, which is at least to inject some adulthood into an unbelievably juvenile discussion. By saying, for instance, what are you comparing us to? It's one of the things I suggest, as you know, at the end of The Madness of Crowds. Like, who are you comparing us to? When you say that our society is particularly racist, who are you comparing us to? Iran, Venezuela, Zimbabwe? Who have you got? Have you been to any of these places? Can you point to them on a map? Can you tell me anything outside of your incredibly narrow and doctrinaire frame of reference? And you don't hear that. You just hear people giving in all around.